Well, as soon as I ended that last live, I got an email. Two more documents have been filed today. Declaration by April Roxy Baker under penalty of perjury deposes and says, I'm one of the attorneys of record for plaintiff in above captioned matter. Plaintiff conducted depositions of Netflix Incorporated witnesses on April 26, 2022 and April 29th, 2022. On or about April 12, 2022, I sent an email message to Lita Walker, one of the attorneys of Netflix Incorporated, in which indicated the plaintiff anticipating producing communications between the plaintiff and producers of an anticipated documentary film, stating, with respect to the communications with Brendan Schuler and Sean Reck, they have asked that we designate any such communications as confidential pursuant to the protective order because they are in production, and the communications related to N as yet unreleased work. If you object to such designations, and please advise, please keep in mind that you have to date refused to relinquish your own designations of the Netflix email communications as confidential. It may be that we will be able to reach some agreement and seek permission from the court to file documents designated as confidential under seal without the need to go through local rule procedures each document for purposes of later motion practice. To my understanding, plaintiff's counsel have attempted to comply with the ESI protocol and protective order in the case as soon as possible, given forms of material produced in light of additional practical considerations. Dated the 17th of May 2022. That's document 229, and this is document 230. Plaintiff's response to the motion to restrict filed by Netflix. Introduction. Netflix Incorporated filed a motion requesting that the court order that certain documents the plaintiff intended to produce as confidential pursuant to the protective order entered in the case be treated as non-confidential. As further explained below, Netflix motion is procedurally improper. In addition, Netflix has previously been advised that the documents implicate interest and claim by the third party that Netflix does not appear to have served with this motion. Plaintiff intends to provide a copy of Netflix motion to the third party so that it can protect any claimed interest in confidentiality if it chooses to appear in these proceedings from that purpose. Argument. Though cumbersome, a parse through the details of the back and forth on which Netflix bases its motion, this argument appears to rest on an assertion that the purported failure to specifically refer to supplemental email production and prior email messages allegedly permanently and irrevocably waived plaintiff's right to designate certain documents as confidential. Netflix motion is procedurally inappropriate and explained below. Further, the ultimate determination whether the documents in question should be treated as confidential potentially affects the interest of the third party. Netflix does not appear to have served the party with the motion, despite the fact that prior to producing the documents, plaintiff advised Netflix that the plaintiff intended to produce the confidential at the request of the third party. As a matter of basic fairness, the third party should be permitted an opportunity to be heard prior to the determination of Netflix motion. Netflix failed to follow the appropriate procedure. Netflix motion is procedurally inappropriate for the last two reasons. First, the protective order and local rules require that motions regarding allegedly improper confidentiality designations and motions relating to discovery be preceded by a meet and confer or an attempt meet and confer and certified upon filing document 189, page 5. No such meet and confer preceded the filing of the motion by Netflix Incorporated. The contrary, Netflix's own submission established that the file of this motion less than 24 hours after it informed plaintiff's counsel that it intended to file documents without confidentiality restrictions. Document 220, page 3, document 220, April 26. Netflix also filed the motion the day the plaintiff's deposition of prominent Netflix Incorporated witnesses during a week in which another Netflix Incorporated witness was deposed. Declaration of April Rashid Baker. In addition to the established Netflix submission, plaintiff's counsel, paralegal, attempted to correct any mistaken impression about the designations pertaining to the documents in question upon learning Netflix was planning to take the position the documents were not designated as confidential. The email message from Deborah Bursick, the protective order provides that the party has inadvertently produced documents without any intended confidentiality designation. The part may be advised receiving counsel within 10 days of discovery of the inaccurate production. In fact, prior to making the production in which plaintiff produced documents that are at issue would be produced in supplemental production, the plaintiff is intended to designate as confidential. Barker, it appeals that Netflix is attempting to exploit an alleged failure to designate documents as confidential, despite the fact that it had previously been informed that those documents were intended to be treated as confidential, and despite the fact that it has subsequently been informed in writing that plaintiff intended the documents to be designed as confidential. A third party whose interests are implicated by the Netflix motion should have been served with the motion. As plaintiffs explained to Netflix prior to producing the documents in question, the documents were intended to produce the confidentiality designation at the request of the third-party film production company because the messages involved and represented of the company in the film the company is developing has not yet been released. It does not appear that the film production company or representatives in question have been served with Netflix motion because the film production company has contended that its interests are at issue. Plaintiffs contends to provide a copy of Netflix motion to company's representatives. Plaintiffs respectfully submit that the third-party production company should be permitted an opportunity to appear if it contends the public release of documents questioned with negatively affects and interest. So basically, the makers of Convicting are trying to stop them from turning over any information they may have used to make their documentary. No audio. Audio is working. Couldn't be on mute. But this is document 229 and 230. I'm sure there'll be a response by the end of the week. But until next time.